Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Now this was a Battleground match. Very interesting in how it all panned out. I don't know what else to really say here. I'm just going to let it play first as we go through it. And I'll do some commentary here and there on it, and we'll pretty much reconvene at the end. As you can see there, I changed out... I had the Fire Meteor Storm pants on at the time, and the Fire Storm offhand I swapped to the Frozen Wellspring pants and the Alder Crystal. Those are the quickest changes I can do on the fly if I'm going in with this particular build. Unfortunately, yeah, granted there could be some exploitation if they would ever put an armory into the Battlegrounds instead. The servers probably wouldn't be able to handle it, but I mean, that would kind of be nice because a lot of these builds need a bit more adjustment. Now, I did also look at the very beginning of the match, and I looked at the roster of who we were facing. And lo and behold, there was not a single Tempest or a Barb on the enemy team. So I was like, you know what? I'm going with this. So that's why what also changed my decision to go a little frosty. As you can tell, obviously, there's a bunch of Scorch Wizards on the other side. Now, there is a little trick to... well, not so much a trick, but there's something you can do to try to avoid that. If you are just out of range, you see me stay out of range of the orbs for the most part. Granted, yeah, it is kind of hard when you need to get to them. The best way around that, of course, is dashing at an angle around them, or like kind of leading the Scorch Ball. Yeah, see, there we go. I popped a bunch right there. Caught them off guard. They didn't know what to expect. Between the frost and the dots, that's a nice little combination. And again, this is because I know that they don't really have anybody on their team that has they don't have Barb or Tempest, basically, or even Demon Hunter or Necro. I don't think they had a Necro on their team either, for that matter, now that I think about it. I'll have to see at the end, but then the fact that this was going on, I was starting to kind of wonder, like, okay, what are we dealing with here? I mean, I'll keep doing my thing here, but see, I'm staying out of range, and if you stay out of range of the Scorch when it hits its maximum range from where they cast it, until you get, yeah, see, somebody's pulling it with them. Once you get it to where it starts to track you, then you actually have to move. But right there, I'm out of range, and it's not following me any further. That was somebody else's mess there. But yeah, as long as you're out of the range of it to start tracing you, most part you're all right. Then you can kind of... it makes it easier when it's stationary as well. Then you can, if you need to close the gap... I'm saying this as any other class other than Tempest that can just teleport forever and dash forever, I guess, not so much teleport, but and I'm also saying if you're not a Necro, all you gotta do is Wraith form and bring your red circle closer in on the target, unless they throw another one at you, but most times you'll probably corpse lands then and that kind of thing. These are all like counters I'm just suggesting, and I have seen done, and what works the best anyway as far as having to deal with the Scorch Wizards. There's always counters to everything to a degree, but then some of the classes just get inherent bonuses that are just ridiculously stupid, which Tempest falls into that category still, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. That's dev design. You're gonna have that. And then there we go. See, now I got a little too close in that one, but they did keep tracking me. Now, I'm not sure if they changed it, if the Scorch balls stop following you once you kill the player or not. I think they kind of linger, which is a problem. They really shouldn't, because everything else cancels out. Like, my meteor showers will stop if I get taken out. And that's honestly, I guess, how it should be. Now that brings me back to also the Necros with the big floating skulls. Those would still continue on even after you take out, you know, the one that cast it. So I'm like, I don't think that really should be the case either. So. Yeah, so far it's again just timing, positioning, and then trying to catch them. The Thistle Bloom works really well because it gets bigger over time and it continues in its duration. It's not very long duration, but it's long enough to, if you stack them too, and if you also hit it in a, from what I can tell, if you hit it in the Meteor Storm AoE, it tends to pull out a little further. But yeah, this is an odd match, and I got an achievement at the end of this, which I'll gladly, you know, take, and it's something that I thought was kind of tied to this game itself, but not necessarily. It was an entirely different achievement. Well, I mean, it was tied to this game, yes, but it was an accumulation of things over time that I just so happened to get with this one, so I was like, hey, that's fine by me, I'll take it. It'll be forever until I get the next tier of that achievement, mind you, but I'll take it nonetheless. But again, knowing what I was looking at in the roster at the very beginning, I was like, well, this is the best approach I could take here. In this case, I'm fighting ice with ice. I'm not entirely sure if they were all, if they had the ice buffs going on them or not. I think they might have just been running shock, which is also another thing that's been being used with the literal shock wizards. Sometimes they don't run with the ice chest piece, and then they run with the Astrum coat that does the lightning nova thing that just kind of goes off on its own and just tags people. They do that more so for hitting multiple targets and hitting everybody with as many dots as they can at random, mostly. Yeah. I did wonder, honestly, at this point, how much else the rest of my team was doing. I'm like, if I'm almost... I didn't quite make... Spoiler right now, for the last 20 seconds of this match, I didn't quite make it to 40 kills. But I did start to wonder, like, man, I'm doing all this. Granted, we almost got to the 65 kills, too. We actually had to run the clock. Suppose I could have pressed it even more than what I already did here. But... I think I was just one shy. Yeah, I was just one shy. There it is. Most valuable carry. Yeah. Obviously, this is not a whale match. Unfortunately, somebody left the game. Yeah, this is not a whale match by any stretch of the means. This was, sadly though, everybody was around the same residence. Imagine that. These are the absolute I don't want to say like best case scenarios. This one was just odd for me because I was like, there's no way. So I think I started I was doing some screenshots. Yeah, I think I'll start going through the rosters here in a little bit. Let's see here, move it up a little. There we go. Now I start going through everybody, checking their stats, their resonances. Like, all right, that was the top in their team. Of course, I am at 1928. I think I showed that at the end of it. There was a triple Rezo right there. So sorry for that, but good job for them being up that far on the list. Because the rest of them were much further, and then of course the ones that left the game. So, but yeah, as you can tell, this is not a whale match by any means. Obviously, this is everybody on both sides, however, were within this range. So this is what you would call a proper balancing match, I guess. But I'm so used to getting thrown into these 8 to 10k reso lobbies all the time anymore. So when this kind of instance happens, it honestly surprises me, and then I'm left with like, what's going on here? What's going as the match progresses further and further, and then at that point I'm just like, all right, let's just wrap this up, huh? So, hey, all you can do is kind of sit back and laugh at it when it happens, and hey, take it as, I don't want to say it necessarily a gimme, but it was pretty well close to that. Checking everybody else's stats here. On our team, so I was at 1928 reso here, still am at the moment. There's a triple res. There's our triple reso we had in our team. We had another triple reso. Okay, there might have been a couple at the bottom in this one. Honestly, I'm sorry for that, but hey, can't help it. That's what matchmaking is, unfortunately. And they did the most next to me, so there you go. Yeah. And we had a barb on our team, so put 2 and 2 together on that one, right? Because we had a barb. They didn't have a barb or a tempest at all. Even regardless of the reso balance there. Yeah. So that was quite the interesting one. All right. Let me show you what that achievement was again, by the way. Let's go ahead and look at the trophies. Piece of strength, I think. No, or was it PV? Progression? Might have been progression. Arms, gems. No. Feats of strength. No, because this is all raid stuff. Oh no, here we go. PvP. One man apocalypse. Defeat 10. I'm getting there, actually. I'm actually getting there. I don't grind it out that much, but all things considered, I'm glad it kept like some kind of a record, I suppose. So I'm getting there for my free-to-play self. See, win a battleground without any defeat. That happened one time. It was weird, but I managed to pull that off somehow. The MVP, lose it, yeah. And we're getting close to that one, sadly. There it is. This is the one I just got. Most valuable carry. Yep, there it was. That's the achievement, in case you're wondering how to get it. 100 battleground matches MVP. So it's another one of those grind out things, and it just kind of happens when it happens. The next one, I'm not holding my breath to that one. 1,000, yeah, it's enough. You can have that one. That's definitely a whale out, grind out fest for sure. And I could care less. I was just happy that I just so happened to get that at that particular match, just as the literal icing on the cake of that one. It made for a weird, fun, odd time overall. So anyway, I just want to put this one out there, let you guys see that for what it is. And the reasonings behind some of the stuff along the way with the commentary I did for it. Hopefully that kind of gives a little bit more insight about the thought processes and positioning and what to watch out for, and try to think of counters. Like I said, in that case, it was mostly Scorch Wizards in that particular one. Now, they weren't able to get out the gates, which is what you want, even though they were trying to fire their abilities out the gate constantly, as long as you stay within a certain range. Now, in my case, I'm also ranged, so I had to pick and choose my spots and catch them just enough to pull them in and do what I did there, obviously. Now, again, if there was any tempests at all or any barbs at all on their team, I would have stuck with the fire, because the barbs and tempests, of course, are going to be immune to control. And then even, of course, the demon hunters still with their the dash builds that still make them immune on the escape dashes, where they shield and then they become immune, depending if they're running the turmoil main hand, I think it is. That does like so many things on that one piece, which is crazy. It does like 3 different things, I think. Makes them immune. I don't know if it breaks them out of an initial CC, or maybe it does. It might work like, no, it's not like Flowing Strike. It's close. It's close though, but it definitely shields them, and then they have multiple dashes because they have such short cooldowns, and they just get more shielding and immune to CC for a period of time, etc., etc. But anyway, Until next time, everybody. Hope you liked that one. Hope you liked the commentary. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see. I have some ideas, but we're getting a lot of newer players in the Diablo Discord, Immortal Discord. I've noticed that we're kind of like questioning a lot of things, like, oh, what to do? I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do next. This and that, which I can understand coming in as a new player now with everything that's in the game. Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, I can see how it'd be pretty overwhelming. But there's that. If you want to see that, let me know. I'm just trying to, you know, I always ask, and well, I don't always ask, but in this case I am. Let me know what else you would like to see. I'll try to do that in the next couple of videos or so, depending on what response we get here. So anyway, until next time, stay safe out there in the real world and fire, everybody. Take care of yourselves as best you can. All we can do, one day at a time, especially with how things are anymore. Until next time, see ya.